Analyze the various sects and religions under Pauranik Hindu religion.
Pauranik or Puranic Hinduism encompasses a diverse array of sects and religious traditions, each with its unique beliefs, practices, and deities. These sects often developed around specific Puranas, ancient Hindu texts, and reflect different aspects of Hindu theology, cosmology, and ritual practices. The main sects include Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Shaktism, and Smartism. Each of these has various subsets, philosophies, and regional variations. 1. Shaivism. Shaivism is one of the oldest and most widespread sects in Hinduism, centered on the worship of Lord Shiva. Shiva is revered as the supreme god, the destroyer and transformer of the universe, and the embodiment of asceticism and meditation. Shaivism has various subsets including Kashmir Shaivism, a non-dualistic tradition that emphasizes the recognition of Shiva's presence in all beings and the universe. Virashaivism, Lingayatism predominantly found in Karnataka. This sect focuses on the worship of Shiva in the form of a linga and emphasizes social equality and moral conduct. Nath tradition, associated with yogic practices and asceticism, this sect focuses on the teachings of the 9 Nath gurus, with Lord Shiva as the Adi Nath, the first guru. 2. Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism is the tradition that worships Lord Vishnu as the supreme deity. Vishnu is regarded as the preserver and protector of the universe, who incarnates in various forms, avatars, like Rama and Krishna to restore cosmic order. Key subsets within Vaishnavism include Sri Vaishnavism, founded by Ramanujacharya. This sect focuses on the worship of Vishnu and his consort, Lakshmi. It is characterized by a dualistic interpretation of Vedanta, where the soul and God are distinct yet connected. Gaudiya Vaishnavism, popularized by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This sect is centered on the devotion to Krishna and Radha. It emphasizes ecstatic devotion, Bhakti, and the chanting of Krishna's name. Madhva Sampradaya. Founded by Madhvacharya, this sect advocates Dvaita, dualism, philosophy, where God Vishnu and the soul are eternally distinct. Pushtamarg Vallabha Sampradaya, founded by Vallabhacharya. This sect emphasizes the worship of Krishna, particularly in his child form, and focuses on grace Pushti as the path to salvation. 3. Shaktism. Shaktism is the sect that worships the Divine Mother, or Shakti, as the supreme deity. Shakti is seen as the dynamic, creative force of the universe, manifesting in various forms such as Durga, Kali, Lakshmi, and Sarasvati. Shaktism has a strong emphasis on rituals, mantras, and tantra. Important aspects of Shaktism include Tantric Shaktism. This tradition uses esoteric practices and rituals to invoke the goddess and harness divine energy. Durga worship, a widespread practice, especially in Bengal, focusing on the worship of Durga during festivals like Durga Puja. Kali worship, predominantly in eastern India, devotees worship Kali, the fierce aspect of the goddess, known for her power to destroy evil and grant liberation. 4. Smartism. Smartism is a sect that emphasizes the worship of 5 deities, Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Ganesha, and Surya, considered as different manifestations of the same ultimate reality, Brahman. Adi Shankaracharya, who advocated the Advaita, non-dualism, philosophy, popularized this sect. Smartas practice a more philosophical approach, focusing on the study of the Vedas, Upanishads, and other scriptures, and believe in the essential oneness of all deities. Conclusion. Pauranik Hinduism is a mosaic of beliefs and practices, with each sect contributing to the richness and diversity of Hindu religious life. While they worship different deities and follow distinct practices, these sects share a common cultural and religious heritage that binds them together under the broader umbrella of Hinduism. This diversity reflects the inclusive nature of Hinduism, where multiple paths to spirituality are recognized and respected.
Stand by social transformation. Evaluate various social group and the interactions between them in the new social structure.
Social transformation refers to significant changes in the structure, values, norms, and institutions of a society. It involves shifts in social relations, power dynamics, and the organization of social life, often influenced by economic, political, technological, and cultural changes. Social transformation can occur gradually over time or through more rapid changes, such as revolutions, reforms, or social movements. It reshapes how individuals and groups interact, altering the fabric of society. Evaluation of various social groups and their interactions in the new social structure. 1. Economic classes. Economic classes play a pivotal role in the new social structure. The distinctions between lower, middle, and upper classes have become more fluid, especially with the growth of the middle class due to economic reforms and globalization. This has led to increased social mobility and changes in social status. However, income inequality persists, and the gap between the rich and the poor remains significant. Interactions between economic classes can be marked by both competition and cooperation, with networking and alliances often forming across class lines, especially in business and politics. 2. Caste. In contexts like India, caste remains a critical component of social structure. The new social structure has seen a reduction in caste-based discrimination, thanks to legal reforms, affirmative action, and greater social awareness. However, caste still influences social interactions, especially in areas like marriage, social networking, and local politics. The rise of Dalit and other backward classes (OBC) in education, employment, and political representation has altered traditional caste dynamics, leading to both empowerment and tensions between different caste groups. 3. Gender. Gender relations have undergone significant transformation in the new social structure. There has been a substantial increase in the participation of women in education, the workforce, and politics, leading to improved gender equality. However, gender-based disparities and patriarchal attitudes persist in many areas, including wages, leadership roles, and domestic responsibilities. The changing gender roles have led to more equitable relationships between men and women, but they have also created challenges, such as the balancing of traditional and modern expectations. 4. Religion. Religion remains a powerful social force, but its role has evolved in the new social structure. While there is increased interfaith dialogue and cooperation, religious identity can still be a source of conflict, especially in multicultural societies. Secularism and religious pluralism are often challenged by communal tensions and political manipulation of religious sentiments. However, religious groups continue to interact through shared community activities, social services, and efforts to promote peace and understanding. 5. Technology and education. The advent of technology and widespread access to education have created new social groups based on knowledge and skills rather than traditional markers like caste or class. The digital divide, however, has created disparities in access to information and opportunities. Educated and tech-savvy groups often dominate the new social landscape, leading to both collaboration and competition among different social sectors. These groups are also more connected globally, influencing cultural and social norms across borders. Conclusion. Social transformation has reshaped the interactions between various social groups in complex ways. While there has been progress toward greater equality and inclusion, challenges remain in bridging the gaps created by economic disparity, caste, gender inequality, and religious tensions. The new social structure is more dynamic and interconnected, with social groups increasingly interacting in ways that are both cooperative and competitive, reflecting the ongoing evolution of society.
Discuss the Muslim invasions and their resistance in early medieval India.
The Muslim invasions of early medieval India began in the 8th century with the Muhammad bin Qasim conquest of Sind in 712 CE, marking the first significant Islamic foothold in the subcontinent. However, the impact of this conquest remained largely confined to the northwestern regions. The 11th century saw more intense invasions under Muhammad of Ghazni, who conducted 17 expeditions between 1000 and 1027 CE. Driven by a desire for wealth and religious zeal, Mahmud looted several temples, including the famed Somnath Temple. Despite facing resistance from local rulers like the Rajputs, Mahmud's superior military tactics and well-organized forces allowed him to succeed. His raids, however, were more about plunder than establishing long-term rule. A more permanent phase of Muslim conquest began in the late 12th century with the Ahmad Ghori, who defeated the Rajput king Prithviraj Chauhan in the Second Battle of Tarain in 1192 CE. This victory led to the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate, marking a significant shift in Indian history. Indian rulers, particularly the Rajputs, offered strong resistance, showcasing their valor and martial traditions. However, their efforts were often undermined by a lack of unity and coordinated defense. The decentralized nature of Indian polities and internal conflicts made it easier for invaders to exploit these divisions. These invasions laid the groundwork for Muslim dominance in northern India, reshaping the region's political and cultural landscape for centuries.
Analyze the economy of the Gupta period.
The Gupta period, often celebrated as India's golden age, saw a thriving economy that was central to the empire's prosperity. Agriculture was the economic backbone, with most of the population engaged in farming. The fertile Gangetic plains and advanced irrigation techniques like canals and wells boosted agricultural productivity. Key crops included rice, wheat, sugarcane, and cotton. The state supported agricultural expansion through land grants to Brahmins and temples, fostering rural development. Trade, both domestic and international, was a significant economic driver. Internal trade networks were extensive, dealing in textiles, spices, and metals. The Guptas maintained strong trade links with Southeast Asia, the Roman Empire, and the Middle East. Indian merchants exported silk, ivory, and precious stones, importing luxury goods like gold and horses in return. The use of standardized gold coins, known as dinaras, facilitated trade and reflected the period's economic stability. Industry and crafts also flourished, with notable advancements in metallurgy, particularly in iron and copper. Gupta artisans produced fine textiles, jewelry, and pottery, which were in high demand both domestically and internationally. The taxation system was well structured, with revenue collected through produce, cash, or labor. Land revenue was a major income source, supporting the administration, military, and cultural activities. Overall, the Gupta economy was diverse and dynamic, characterized by agricultural abundance, flourishing trade, and advanced industry, laying the foundation for the cultural and intellectual achievements of this golden age.
Review the contribution of Pallavan in the field of literature and architecture.
The Pallavas, who ruled South India from the 6th to the 9th centuries, made significant contributions to literature and architecture, leaving a lasting impact on Indian cultural heritage. Literature. The Pallavas were great patrons of literature, promoting both Sanskrit and Tamil languages. Under their rule, Sanskrit literature flourished, with the Pallava courts being centers of learning and culture. Many Pallava kings were scholars themselves, such as Mahendravarman I, who authored the Sanskrit play Madhavilasa Prahasana, a satirical work that reflects the intellectual climate of the time. The Pallavas also encouraged the study of Vedas, Puranas, and other religious texts, which contributed to the proliferation of scholarly works in Sanskrit. In Tamil literature, the Pallava period is notable for the development of Bhakti, devotional literature, particularly the hymns composed by the Nayanars, devotees of Shiva, and the Alvars, devotees of Vishnu. These hymns, which are still revered in Tamil culture, express deep devotion and reflect the socio-religious context of the time. The Pallavas supported the spread of this Bhakti movement, which played a crucial role in shaping the spiritual landscape of South India. Architecture. The Pallavas are perhaps best known for their pioneering contributions to South Indian temple architecture. They introduced the rock-cut architecture, which is evident in the famous cave temples of Mahabalipuram, Mamallapuram. The rock-cut temples, such as the Five Rathas and the Shore Temple, showcase the Pallavas' mastery in carving and their innovative architectural styles. These monuments are UNESCO World Heritage Sites today and are admired for their artistic and architectural excellence. The Pallavas also developed the structural temple architecture that later influenced the Chola and Chalukya temple designs. The Kailasanatha temple in Kanchipuram, built by Narasimhavarman II, is one of the earliest examples of a Dravidian-style temple, featuring intricate carvings, pillared halls, and a towering vimana, temple tower. This temple became a model for future South Indian temple architecture. Conclusion. The Pallavas made enduring contributions to literature by fostering scholarly and devotional works in both Sanskrit and Tamil. Their architectural innovations, particularly in rock-cut and structural temple designs, laid the foundation for the Dravidian style of temple architecture that would dominate South India for centuries. Their legacy in literature and architecture continues to influence Indian culture and heritage today.
The Chalukyan polity.
The Chalukyan polity, particularly during the reigns of the Badami Chalukyas, 6th to 8th centuries, was marked by a strong centralized administration. The king was the supreme authority, supported by a council of ministers. The empire was divided into provinces, vishayas, governed by royal officials. Local administration was managed by village assemblies. The Chalukyas are also known for their military campaigns, cultural patronage and architectural achievements, such as the rock-cut temples at Badami and the temples at Aihole and Patadakal. Their rule laid the foundation for later South Indian polities.
Bhakti movement in South India.
The Bhakti movement in South India emerged between the 7th and 9th centuries, primarily through the devotional hymns of the Nayanars, Shiva devotees, and Alvars, Vishnu devotees. This movement emphasized personal devotion to a deity over ritualistic practices and caste distinctions. The Bhakti poets expressed their devotion in Tamil, making religious ideas accessible to the common people. The movement fostered social unity and influenced temple construction, art, and music. It played a crucial role in shaping South Indian religious and cultural identity, leaving a lasting legacy in Indian spirituality.
Political and military system of the Rajputs.
The Rajput political system was based on a feudal structure with a king Maharaja at the top, supported by local chieftains Rajas, who governed smaller regions. Loyalty and valor were highly valued. The military system was centered around a warrior ethos, with a focus on cavalry and fortifications. Rajput armies were known for their bravery and often engaged in guerrilla tactics. Their military culture emphasized honor, and battles were fought with a strong sense of pride. The Rajputs also built numerous forts, which served as strongholds and symbols of their resistance against invaders.
Property rights of women.
Property rights for women vary by country and legal system. In many places, women have equal rights to own, inherit, and manage property. Historically, women's property rights were limited, but reforms have improved this. For instance, in India, the Hindu Succession Act, 1956, and various amendments have granted women equal inheritance rights. In Western countries, women's property rights are generally protected by law, ensuring they can own and inherit property on par with men. However, challenges remain in implementing these rights effectively, particularly in areas with traditional or discriminatory practices.
Growth of language.
Language growth involves the development and expansion of a language over time. This can occur through 1. Lexical expansion, introduction of new words, often due to technological advancements, cultural exchanges, or social changes. 2. Grammar evolution, changes in syntax, morphology, and usage rules that reflect evolving communication needs. 3. Dialects and variants, regional and social variations of a language develop, leading to dialects and sometimes separate languages. 4. Influence and borrowing, languages borrow terms and structures from other languages, enriching vocabulary and grammar. 5. Literary and media contributions, literature, media, and technology can drive language growth by popularizing new terms and expressions. Overall, language growth reflects cultural, social, and technological changes within a community.